The Ambazonian who wakes up to the sound of gunfire and goes to bed hoping for peace. We are at undaunted, we are heartbroken by the continuing loss of innocent lives, lives like that of Mr. Penn Collins Mulu, who was gunned down by a stray bullet in Mile 4, Bamenda, on what should have been a peaceful Father's Day. Mr. Penn, in his mid-50s, had just finished leading worship at Jordan Baptist Church, dressed in his CBC Men's Department uniform, lifting his voice in praise and fellowship. But hours later, his voice was silenced forever, sadly. According to family members, the father, a native of Santa, had briefly stepped out to buy something from a nearby junction store when gunshots rang out. He ran back into the shop for cover, but tragically, a stray bullet found him there, piercing his chest and cutting short a life filled with service and love. Despite emergency efforts at the Bamenda Regional Hospital, Mr. Penn could not be saved. His passing has left a gaping hole in the hearts of his loved ones, his congregation, and the entire Mile 4 community. Now, this is not just a news story. It is a cry from a bleeding land. Another family shattered, another home silenced, another soul lost, not on the battlefield, but on the streets he called home. We mourn with the Mulu family, and we ask again, how many more fathers must die before this war comes to an end? Still in Bamenda, in a country where war has become the air people breathe, the streets of Bamenda again turned into scenes of horror as a young woman was critically injured during gunfire in the Nkwane region, the Nkwane area of the Midland Zone. Now, this happened just 2 days before another civilian, Mr. Penn Mulu, lost his life under similar circumstances. Details remain unclear, but eyewitnesses confirm that sporadic gunshots erupted, sending residents fleeing for cover. At least one person was reported dead during this attack, while the injured woman is now fighting for her life, one of many caught in the merciless crossfire of a war that has spiraled beyond reason. It is no longer just a conflict between state forces and pro-independence fighters. What we're witnessing now is a breakdown of safety, where armed individuals, some with no clear cause, take advantage of the chaos, the ongoing war to unleash terror on the very people of the same nation. People taking advantage of the war and causing chaos and exploiting innocent individuals at the detriment of their fellow innocent lives. Well, undaunted, like the rest of the grieving Ambazonian people, stands with the victims and their families. We speak today not just as reporters, but as sons and daughters of the Ambazonian land who have seen too much blood, too much pain, and too little justice. From Bamenda to Muyuka, from Nkwane to Santa, families are mourning. Mothers are burying their children. Worshippers are dodging bullets. This is not the future the peoples of Ambazonia prayed for. We call for accountability. We call for justice. And most of all, we call for peace, because Ambazonia is bleeding and the wounds are now far too deep, which is why the international community should step in and do what is needful to bring this war to a just end.